Welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School stream number 2. It means it's game number 2 of night number 2 of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH as the Illini West Chargers are about to take on the West Prairie Cyclones, and key maybe number 1 for the West Prairie Cyclones is to keep Ashton Barkley and Denver Mitchell out of foul trouble. They both got into foul trouble against BPC last night, and that game got out of hand early, ended up being a 40-point contest down the stretch. But I would imagine that this one will hopefully be a little bit better as we move along here. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH in just about 30 seconds.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School. We have Jake Croxton mic'd up tonight, so we'll let you hear the starting lineups whenever he is ready to go, about 1:43. Both these teams lost last night. Both of them are 0-1 on the season and 0-1 in the tournament. The Bombers now 0-1 also. Coach Anderson, sit down here, sir. Get Coach Anderson from the Macomb High Bombers underneath the headset. Coach, we'll start the interview. We're going to step aside when Jake gets ready to do the starting lineups here, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah.
As he's we got him mic'd up over there tonight.
Oh, nice.
All kinds of craziness going on.
Really stepping up your game here.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're always up for trying new things, right?
That's good.
That's what we got to keep pushing the envelope a little bit. So Jake Croxton has got the microphone on over there, I do believe, so we'll let you hear the starting lineups for tonight's contest.
And welcome to Bushnell-Prairie City High School and the 2022 Spartan Tip-Off Classic, game number 4 between the Illini West Chargers and the West Prairie Cyclones. And now let's meet the game 4 starting lineups. At one guard for Illini West, a 5'10 junior, number 2, Colby Robertson. At guard for West Prairie, a 6' senior, number 2, Ashton Barkley. At guard for the Chargers, a 6'2 senior, number 14, Nolan Dietrich. And at guard for West Prairie, a 6' senior, wearing number 5, Denver Mitchell. At one forward for the Chargers, a 6' senior, number 11, Drake Mudd. And at a third guard for West Prairie, a 5'9 junior, number 12, Cole Cordell. At forward for the Chargers, a 6' junior, number 21, Reese Shoup. And at forward for West Prairie, a 6'1 junior, number 14, Clayton Hunt. And in the middle for the Chargers, a 6'3 senior, number 35, Gannon Bergman. And at guard for West Prairie, a 6'3 senior, number 20, Adam Vale. Justin Ellison heads up the Charger bench, assisted by Tim Lafferty and Tyler Bruns. Greg Duncan is the Cyclone head coach, assisted by Ian Conklin. Your game 4 officials are Michael Parsons, Kennedy Gooding, and Brad Gooding.
So there's the starting lineups. As I said, we're getting ready to tip things off here. Coach Anderson with us, and Coach, missing a few players, but I don't think that's how you expected night number 1 to go for you.
Oh, yeah, I thought we'd compete. I thought we'd compete a lot better than what we did tonight, that's for sure. I give West Hancock a lot of credit. They really got after it on defense, kind of set the tone for the game, put our guys back on our heels, and every pass, every shot was under duress from early in the game on.
Illini West wins the tip, and they'll have the first shot as Bergman on the inlet pass, and he's going to be fouled by Vale. Vale will pick up his first, team's first, and just like that, we'll have our first free throws of the contest. Coach, obviously I'm guessing that Duncan is out because of the toss out at the football game. Is that why he was missing tonight?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's what we were some people were wondering about that, so I was guessing that's what it was. But JT still battling an ankle injury from football?
Yes, he is. He tried to practice yesterday, but just couldn't really get it to go. So we're hoping to give him some more time, get that healed up.
Bergman misses both, and a rebound goes to Clayton Hunt for the Cyclones. Connor Watson was held in check, I think, more than people anticipated today, too. That's something about their defense, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, I think so. I think they got up in him and they pressured him and caused him to make decisions going a little faster than what he was ready to make.
Nolan Dietrich
he missed some shots early, might have hurt his confidence a little bit. But I think a lot of that has to do with the way West Hancock was guarding.
The Illini West with the basketball again and a chance to go up 4-0, and that's Drake Mudd, who twisted an ankle last night, back and gets the bucket. You had some bright spots. I thought that Langdon Allen looked okay for you at times tonight. Drew Watson came off the bench and was a little spark for in the third quarter for you as a freshman.
Well, I thought both Braden Holthouse, our sophomore,
yes, he did. You're right.
And Drew, as a freshman, both showed that they're perfectly capable of belonging out there in a varsity game. I think that they're going to play a lot of basketball this year. They're going to be in all the, Drew's going to play in all the freshman games, and Braden's going to play in all the sophomore games.
Bergman to Mudd, it was tipped away.
And they're going to have to help like they did tonight. Absolutely. They're going to be playing a lot.
Drew Watson's a pretty good athlete, and Holthouse, I think, is an not undervalued, but underestimated maybe a little bit in what he's able to do.
Yeah, he's skilled. Shoot the ball well, he's a good ball handler. With both those guys, the big thing is we're just going to have to keep working on their defense. They're just not used to the speed of the game. They're not used to how physical it is. And so, but games like tonight where they kind of get their eyes opened on how that is, that'll only help.
Denver Mitchell throws that one away all the way back down court, and it'll be Chargers basketball again. I think Jake had you guys for 3 players with 7 points.
Yeah,
I don't think that you guys are going to be that balanced all the time, are you, or do you expect that to be the case?
Well, I really don't know, to tell you the truth, Dwayne, where we're going to find scoring. I think if Connor has off nights like he did tonight, I'm not sure where those points come from. That's going to have to be by committee for sure. I think tonight was a really tough example for us once they started to get up and really pressure us, and we didn't handle it very well.
Cole Cordell couldn't take the pass from Mitchell that time. Bergman into the basket. His shot's off no good. Mudd with the rebound in the putback.
Some of that's on me, too, because I didn't prepare him for the type of defense that West Hancock played tonight. So that's something that we'll have to go back to the drawing board and hopefully learn, right? But from this point forward, when we see something like that, we'll have a better idea what we want to do against it.
Timeout on the floor, charge of the Cyclones. 5:53 remaining. And it's 8-0. Scoreboard says 6, but I'm pretty positive it's 8. These early season tournaments, if you're going to, for lack of a better term, if you're going to lay an egg a little bit tonight and not play your first game, it's probably, you've said this many times, it's nice being close to home. You didn't drive 2 hours to play a game like you played tonight. And I don't think that this is what you're going to see out of this team on the regular either, is it? Do you think?
Well, that's going to depend on what our expectations are. I think we had some guys come into this game with kind of low expectations of their opponent. And when you do that, that's an awful slippery slope. And I think tonight is exactly what can happen to you when you do that. We weren't ready for their intensity. We weren't ready for their physicality. We weren't ready for their pressure. I think we were kind of sitting back on our heels and didn't think that was going to happen.
Nolan Dietrich hits the tray, and it's 11-0 Chargers.
They came out and they really pressured us. We struggled.
Mudd gets another 2. It's 13-0.
We made a nice push to tie the game at 18 at half.
Did you kind of feel like you were maybe back in the game at that point?
And they came out and scored the first 5, and we never really pushed back.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like as a foul is going to be called on the Chargers number 2, Colby Robertson, his first, team's first. And I kind of thought maybe at that point you guys were back in the game. I thought that maybe that was the point that you needed, but it just never materialized in the second half.
No, we could never get any flow offensively. And then we would get them to miss a shot or two, and we'd give up an offensive rebound for a basket. Or we would get a decent shot of our own and then not have anybody get back on defense, and they had some runouts. And so those things just crippled us, and then it snowballed.
And a turnover by Hunt. Dietrich goes back the other way, gives it to Bergman, and he'll get the bucket to fall. And a foul called on Bergman, or called against Bergman. The basket's good. It's going to be on Clayton Hunt. His first, team second. Bergman, a little ginger on the ankle. It's 15-0 after the foul, and Bergman a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play attempt here. Did you come down and watch basketball last night?
I did. I sure did.
Illini Bluffs is going to be the real deal, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I was impressed with them.
A little young yet, though.
They're athletic. They're long. They're really going to pressure you, too. You know, we'll find that out tomorrow night. They're really going to get up and pressure us. See how hopefully we can handle a little bit better than we did tonight. But, yeah, they do a nice job. They play through the Albee kid well, and he finds cutters. When they pass the ball to him with his back to the bucket, he finds guys that are cutting open pretty well, too. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Cole Cordell jumped into the lane early, and Bergman made him pay as he made his second attempt at the free throw line, and it's 16-0. And now the pass stolen away by Robertson. Clayton Hunt's going to come up and pick up another foul. That's his second, team's third. You got to play Illini Bluffs tomorrow night. Nate Zeringer came up to me and goes, maybe I'd have wished I'd have put that game a little later in the week. West Hancock, I think, might be the surprise of this tournament right now, though.
Well, I think West Hancock's well coached. I think they're really intense. They did a nice job taking us out of the flow of what we wanted to do. It's like any other game. If you have people that can keep their composure and adjust to the adjustments, you never know. But, yeah, I was impressed with them.
There's a steal for the Cyclones. Rand Palmer bringing it back the other way. How's it with Connor Watson? I'll let you get out of here after this question, but let's say that was touched by somebody. Everybody's going to look at Connor Watson as being your spark plug, and I know we talked about a little bit earlier about where points will come from if he doesn't score, but do you feel like you have the team at this point in the season when you get, maybe Duncan back and JT Jeter, that you can win a game and score some points without him scoring a bunch of points for you?
Well, I think we can, but we're going to have to execute a lot better than what we did tonight.
Yeah, I can.
We had a plan. We tried to make some adjustments, but West Hancock pressured our guys enough to where we couldn't get into those adjustments. So
West Hancock does bring a level of pressure that a lot of schools don't normally
They did a nice
bring.
job with it.
And they came out of the one timeout, went 2-3 zone for just a trip or two down the floor, and a three on the way for the Cyclones. Hits in front of the rim, off no good. Barkley tips it away, but it's picked up by Dietrich. Down the floor to Bergman, and he finishes with the layup. Coach, I'll let you get out of here.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming up and talking. And,
yeah, anytime.
And we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yep, talk to you tomorrow.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Anderson talking to us. Robertson's shot is blocked. It's 20-0. The first quarter is still underway here. 3:12 remaining. And the first quarter, and it's 20-0. Mitchell's going to bring it up for the Cyclones. 3:03 remaining. Mitchell picks up his dribble, gives it to Palmer. Palmer now backs it out, looks at the three, goes down to Barkley underneath, and Barkley's going to get the foul call, I believe, on Bergman. We'll see if it's who it is. No, it's not. It is on Bergman. His first, team's third. I missed one in there somewhere. Shot for the Cyclones off, no good. Robertson with the rebound. He outlets it to Shoup, and Shoup is going to get a foul. He's going to be fouled, but he's going to be shooting at no free throws. They called it on the floor. Ashton Barkley picks up his first foul. Team's fourth. Andrew Hunt checking in for Barkley, who had to pull himself up off the floor after getting ran over there. Dietrich looking at the three, doesn't take it. Backs out, pulls in now. Bumps it out to Shoup for a long two. It's short. Vale with the rebound for the Cyclones. 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. Rand Palmer on the dribble. Gives it to Denver Mitchell. Went to the hoop, blocked. Robertson takes it back the other way, gives it to Drake Mudd. Mudd's bucket is good. Give him 8 for the quarter. Colby Robertson gets the assist. 22-0. Andrew Hunt gives it down to Xavier Hilton. Tipped away. Now Robertson's going to go back the other way. He puts the shot up and in. Colby Robertson gets his first two. It's 24-0. 1:25 to go in the first quarter. Rand Palmer can't get to the pass from Denver Mitchell. 5 coming in for, let's scratch that, 4 coming in. 5, Ethan Carlisle. 12, Hayden Rankin. 24, Wesley Robertson. And 22, Trey Niederman checking in. Coach Dahl is with us now, and we'll talk to him for a few seconds here. Pass down to Robertson of the Wesley variety is taken away. Rand Palmer is going to take it back the other way. Coach Dahl, I talked to somebody before the game as Palmer's going to drive here, put up the shot, and it's blocked by Dietrich. They told me that they thought you guys were maybe the third best team. I think that you made a statement that you thought a little higher yourselves than that after that contest.
Yeah, I mean, we guarded really well, and our offense was not good at all. We were really timid and sort of impatient. Didn't handle the pressure that well. We should have used it to help us instead of letting it hurt us. But you know, my guys have worked really hard, and I think, you know, we're way better defensively than we have been in the past few years, and which will lead to some better offense for us.
Well, Jacko was a bit of a surprise stepping out, hitting a few threes, and I think he's a better athlete than his dad was.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he listens to this.
Yeah, he should. I mean, Luke had a great game. Like, he played. He was in tune the whole time. He was engaged mentally the whole time, which is really, when you're like that, and he's worked so hard to get stronger and faster, and it helped him tonight. He's just did a great job.
4 seconds to go in quarter number 1, 24-0, and Rand Palmer picked up his first foul. Robertson going to get it out to Carlisle, and he won't shoot it. So that's how quarter number 1 will come to an end, 24-0, as we get ready to go to second quarter. And as you guys settle in after beating Macomb, did you come down and watch Illini Bluffs last night?
I watched some of it, yeah.
They've got some height, a different kind of team than Macomb will bring to the table.
Oh, way different. Macomb is really physical, low body. They're really long and cover some ground, and they do things that other teams can't do.
Yeah, Jake Croxton just hollered at me on the. Thanks for doing the halftime interview, by the way. We appreciate
no problem.
it. He said we're not going to do it this time, and I told him that. Probably
a good thing not.
24-0 game.
Yeah.
You don't see very many games like this at the varsity level. But you guys kind of pulled away a little bit against Macomb. did you feel like Macomb just struggled to find any groove offensively in combination with the fact that you guys played pretty good defense?
I think so. I think they have some players out, so the one kid will be played tomorrow, I think, and he's a good player, and that he would really help when he's a good athlete. So when you take someone like him out, then it's just sort of hard. But yeah, I think thanks. I think with our pressure and them being a little bit out of sync because of not having other guys, that really helped us actually.
Siegfried hit a couple big shots for you.
Yes, yeah, and he's worked so hard to improve his shot. Like last year, people would just leave him open, and I think this year he's going to have to. He'll make shots.
And the shot by Niederman blocked. Now Wesley Robertson gets the steal. Nolan Dietrich gives it down in the corner to Rankin. Now Dietrich again. He's going to go to the rack. His shot's up and in.
Nice.
Nolan
Nice
Dietrich
left.
has 11 points. And it's still 0 points on the scoreboard. Hey, there's a foul on Rankin, and it looks like Andrew Hunt's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. That's Rankin's first. Team's fourth. Hunt's free throws off, no good. So as I look back through your guys' scorebook here, you played a lot of people, but I had Grodehouse as the free throws good for Hunt to get the Cyclones on the scoreboard. Grodehouse played pretty well off the bench for you.
Great game. Like he was one of the guys, him and Luke were the two guys I thought played way to their potential at this point in the year, because if you notice, like as soon as he got in, he was getting in the lane, he was getting rebounds, he was guarding full length of court. Like he just did everything at a high level, I thought.
Niederman takes the bucket. It's 28-1, and West Prairie takes their second timeout. And looking back through, I don't keep a whole lot of stats, but you guys crashed the boards pretty hard. I don't know that you necessarily had a ton of rebounds, but it seemed like even when you weren't getting a rebound, you were getting a hand on the ball to make it not an easy rebound for Macomb. Yeah,
we did get our hands on a lot. Luke got his hands on a lot too. He bothered some shots and, hit the ball and rebounds. And, that was one thing we were talking about. Like, we could have, we should have 4 guys in there rebounding, not just 1 or 2. So when we get everybody flying for those long rebounds, then we'll get more. But I thought that our hands are pretty active for the most part, and I thought we did a good job of trying to make them do things they're not comfortable doing. That was our whole goal in the game, is defense, is to make it a little chaotic and make it uncomfortable for them.
So you said at halftime when you were talking to Jake that you thought you guys were a little passive. You came out pretty decent, and then I thought you did kind of let up a smidge. Yeah. I didn't feel like you let up at all in the second half, though.
I don't either. We came out and shot it better, and we defended a little better overall. So I think that, and offensively, Heim struggled a little bit. He still played a good game, but offensively he can do a lot more than he showed tonight. So he was a little passive on it. I thought he had shots he could have got that it would have been, he could have really made some, made a big difference in those shots.
Barkley almost nailed it, hit a 3. It was off the back of the rim. The other number 2 for the other team, unfortunately, picked up the rebound. That's Colby Robertson. And some of the starters back in for the Chargers. Robertson's going to drive, and he gets a little hip check from Ashton Barkley, and Barkley is going to pick up his second foul, team foul number 6 unofficially.
Number 2, Ashton Barkley, his second, team 6. Denver Mitchell returns for West Prairie.
4 fouls for the Chargers thus far. As a coach, and you're watching a game like this, trying to see, it's not like you haven't seen, there's a nice pass inside the
Great pass.
Mud, and can't finish. And he travels, does Clayton Hunt. But you kind of know what Illini West is going to bring to the table more year in and year out. You know the kids, you see them more regularly.
Yep.
But can you learn a lot from a game that's like this?
You can maybe find out some tendencies of some of their bench players, maybe because they're going to do a bigger role in this game. You can see what they can do. So that's what we'll be watching for tonight. And then, pick up anything that you might just see something that, hey, this might work, but there's really not a lot.
So a 3 attempt there by Denver Mitchell was just off, and the Illini West has the rebound. 5:40 to go here in quarter number 2. It's 28-1, and they throw that over and back. Pretty close to over and back.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And a 30-second timeout charged to Illini West, and that was really close to over and back. Huh?
Yeah, it was really – I don't know if you get any closer.
Could you have started this season any better than the way this game went? I mean, maybe you said you thought your offense wasn't great, but as a whole, could you have asked for a better start than this to your season?
Well, no, because we stuck with it. And, when you go into a season, you always think from practice people can do stuff, and then you can find a game and then it doesn't work. Then you're like, who's going to step up? So to start off with, having Gavin come off the bench and play really well, that was really good. And finding our concepts of defense we're teaching to them, every time we did them, they worked really well. So we got to keep those concepts in play for the whole possession, not have breakdowns, So we know our concepts will work. We know that if we do the right thing with the ball pushing up the floor, like we were pretty good in transition, I thought, but we didn't do it all the time. And there was people up and we just didn't pass it. So we got to look at those things, get better.
And a pass by Burke out to Rowan Jackson's tipped away by Brody Cordell. 5:15 to go in the second quarter. You can watch the game here online. We'll try to tell you what's going on occasionally. We've got Coach Dahl from West Hancock hanging out with us a little bit here as Berg's going to get the easy bucket. Bergman, excuse me. I think I stopped after the Berg, but it's Bergman. And the Cyclones still looking for their first basket. They have one free throw. They've been close. There's Mitchell for 3. It's off. I don't know if it got rim or not. It's pretty close. It's 30-0 or 30-1 here at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. And so now you've kind of set the stage for, I think everybody expects the Illini Bluffs West Hancock game to be the big one now. Even though it's early in the season, does the tournament, you want to win games, but does the tournament championship really mean anything, or is just getting better at this point?
Well, I think anytime you put in work and you get paid back for it, it breeds more work. So if we can play well, get ourselves in position to have, maybe have that game be one that really matters, then that's a really good thing for us. So that there always helps to have success.
So, what did you think of Bushnell last night? Did you get to see Bushnell at all?
I think they looked like they moved better than they did last year. They looked a lot more fluid, they scored points, and I thought they looked like it could be a pretty tough game.
Yeah, athletically, I think they are much better. Mudd from Robertson can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound, and they're hammering the right way inside there. And the Chargers are going to back it back out with 3:40 to go. Well, Coach, I guess I don't have to keep you. I do appreciate you coming and talking to us here. And as I look through your score sheet, as the basket is good by Reese Shoup, and he'll have an old-fashioned three-point play. The foul is going to be on Clayton Hunt, his third, team's 7th. Scoreboard caught up here. Some subs coming in, including number 20, Steven Sparks for the Chargers. Number 1 is Colin Kurtman. And the free throw's off, no good. So as I look through there's Kurtman with the steal and the bucket. A lot of people scored. I know that Jacko was your leading scorer, but you had numerous people scoring. Is that something you're going to expect to see throughout the year? I'm sure Jacko won't always be your leading scorer.
No, I think I like the balance we can have. I can have of all my first 8 guys that play, like if they're open from 3, they
Holy
can shoot
smokes.
it. He got shoved in the back.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
see
mean
a
to interrupt you.
chiropractor. No, all those first 8, if they're open from 3, I expect them to shoot it. So we have guys that can score, and you're right, it won't be the same guy every night. It'll be whoever's hitting will get him the ball.
Coach, Rand Palmer puts up the shot. It's off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound down to Sparks, and Nolan Dietrich will walk it up. I'll let you get out of here. We'll find out who your new leading scorer will be tomorrow night, I guess, in about, 23 and a half hours
Yep,
or so.
we got to get those guys home and get some rest.
Okay. Well, thank you much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Yep.
Coach Dahl from West Hancock, and Bergman gets another bucket. 38 points for the Chargers. Denver Mitchell walks it up the floor. Ashton Barkley, Rand Palmer. 1:58 remaining in the first half. Rand Palmer with it. Down to Vale, and he's going to be fouled. It's either Kurtman, and we got a Charger down on the floor. It's Bergman, and he's the one that got called for the foul, his second, team's 5th. Bergman comes out. Checking in for him is going to be Hayden Rankin. At the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Cyclones, Adam Vale. Andrew Hunt also in. Barkley takes a seat. At 34, Austin Nelson checking in for the Cyclones. Adam Vale hits the first. And he hits the second. 1:45 remaining in the first half. 38-3 the score. Dietrich pull-up jumper, 16 feet off, no good. Kurtman was there to try to, but Nelson's going to beat him, and then Nelson travels with it as he slips, trying to do a stop with the basketball. 1:31 remaining, and the Chargers get the ball back. Nolan Dietrich to Kurtman. Kurtman out to Rankin. Rankin to Robertson of the Colby variety. Dietrich now. On the dribble, crossover, goes to the hoop. Reverse layup is good for Nolan Dietrich. 40-3 the score. All 3 points coming on free throws for the Cyclones. They're 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Ball's tipped on an inlet pass, intended for Nelson. Now Nelson's going to get it back. Denver Mitchell now drives, puts up the runner. It's off, no good. Kurtman with the rebound. And Rand Palmer is going to pick up the foul, I believe. Nope. It's going to be Denver Mitchell. His first, team's 8th. And I think Kurtman is going to be shooting the one in bonus now for the Chargers.
At the line for one in bonus,
Colin Kerfman. This team up 40-3 with 43.5 seconds remaining. His first free throw's off, no good. Rand Palmer gets the rebound. .33 seconds remaining. Adam Vale with it. Andrew Hunt, long three. It's off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around. He gets his own rebound. Short again. This time it's picked up by Rankin. Dietrich now takes it up the floor. 15 seconds. He's going to drive. Probably figures he's not going to get much action in the second half. Wants one more basket. He'll get it. 42-3. 5 seconds remaining. Denver Mitchell puts up the jumper. It's off, no good, and that's the end of the first half of play. The score, 42-3. The Chargers lead the West Prairie Cyclones. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
We're an 11-bed ER. After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
And welcome back here to Bushnell-Prairie City High School, night number 2, game number 2 of the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. Scoreboard is right, 42-3. We're going to play a halftime interview from MDH, and we'll be back with some stats at the end of that. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
All right, welcome back. We're here now with Wanda Foster, the Vice President of Nursing and Clinical Administration. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Well, what we're going to talk about today is some of the opportunities that are available at MDH for students, whether they be high school students, Spoon River College students, or Western students. MDH has a lot of opportunities to be involved and to learn, right?
We absolutely do. And we look so forward to having students here. We are a clinical site for Western Illinois University and their bachelor's program for nursing, as well as for Spoon River College nursing students and others that are doing some independent study. We welcome students, and we also encourage high school students. If you would like to learn more about nursing, we would love to meet with you. And there are opportunities at the hospital also where they can apply for jobs here, for positions. So we work closely with our nursing students, and we hope to recruit them and attract them and want to come back.
I know that publicly there's been a shortcoming or a shortage of nurses, right? And I know that every hospital and every nursing home and every clinical place period is searching for nurses. So how important is it for MDH to have these groups work with them, whether it be MDH or be Spoon River College or whatever the case may be? How important is it for MDH to then recruit those nurses to stay here and work as a profession?
It's very important. We want nursing students to feel very comfortable here, to enjoy their clinical experience and their opportunities here. And then we want them to feel very comfortable, to give them a good orientation. We hire new graduates, of course, into our acute care area as well as the intensive care unit. We hire new graduates in the emergency room, in home health and hospice, in our OB department, and our surgery department. These are all areas that new graduates can come into. We certainly give them a robust orientation. No one starts on their own until they feel completely ready. They have a mentor certainly with them, and we want to give them the best start for success that we can. And then there are many areas of specialty they can choose to go into. Nursing is a very unique field. You can work full-time, you can work part-time if you need to take time off for some reason. It's a field that you can kind of step into a little bit more than maybe some other fields in healthcare. We also have scholarships available through our auxiliary, through the hospital, and then once someone is an employee here, we do have some tuition reimbursement. So we will certainly help with that.
And going back to the scholarships and the shortages that are across the board, not necessarily at MDH, but
everywhere.
Right? So everywhere. This is a profession that you can make a good living at and be pretty sure to have a job, right? So
absolutely.
This is a profession that high schoolers that are playing these sporting events or high schoolers that are watching these sporting events should consider, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. You will always be assured to have a job, a career in nursing. I hate to call it just a job because you really want someone on that career path who has that passion for caring for people, for providing nursing care. Through your education and through your orientation, we can teach you your skill set. But if you have that passion and the desire to be in the nursing profession, you will do fine.
Yeah, a career and a job, while they might be listed as the same thing, they're really not, correct? I mean, if your career is being a nurse, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more than if it's a job, right?
That's right. And you don't go into it first and foremost for the money. You go into it because that's what you want to do with your life, and the money certainly will follow.
Yeah, and that goes for anything probably,
yes.
the nice thing is right now, whether the money's good or bad, there's always going to be a job.
There will.
If you can get through the schooling and you can learn to love what you're doing, there's always going to be a job for you. Right?
And it's not something for high school graduates exclusively. We have many people who have made changes midlife. We have people who have retired from their career in one thing and have chosen to go into nursing. So it's open for any age, and we certainly welcome that.
And you mentioned there's different areas of expertise for nurses. People think of that for doctors, but it's really that same way for nurses, right? I mean, you can be a surgical nurse and really become a great surgical nurse, or you can become a great ICU nurse, or you can do all those things.
Yes.
But if you really want to focus on something, or be at OB, which you guys have a great OB department here, if that's what you want your focus to be and you really love working with expected and new mothers and young babies, you can do that, right?
You can do that. We also have positions in our MDH physician clinic practices as well. And if you are in nursing and you can choose to specialize in a certain department, you can choose to go on and be a director or a clinical care coordinator. You can go back to school and become a nurse practitioner, become a certified registered nurse anesthetist. You can go many different directions and really as high as to whatever extent in your education you would like to pursue.
Well, Wanda, thanks for coming and talking to us. We greatly appreciate it. I know that there's probably places, specific places within MDH that they can reach out to, correct? Is there somewhere that they need to call if they're interested?
I would call our human resource department and start there, and then they can help direct and guide you. They can tell you about openings that we currently have. Everything, all of our current positions are listed on our MDH website, www.mdh.org. But certainly any positions for high school students, if they would like to start somewhere within the organization or volunteer experience, reach out to Human Resources and they can help direct you.
Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Game high 15 at the half for Nolan Dietrich for the Chargers. 9 points for Gannon at Bergman. 8 points for Drake Mudd, all in the first quarter. Good to see him back after his ankle injury took him out of the game last night. Then Colin Kerfman has 2, Colby Robertson has 2, Ethan Carlisle has 2, Reese Shoup has 2, Trey Niederman has 2. For the Cyclones, 2 points for Adam Vale on 2 of 2 free throws. And 1 point for Andrew Hunt on 1 of 2 free throws. And that is the extent of the scoring for this contest here tonight. This game so we got to take care of a couple things in the chat here, folks. Give me just a second. So we're getting ready to go with the third quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
We're an 11-bed.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
to you by Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. You can also pick up single copies at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. As we get ready to go with the second half here, this game also being brought to you by Barkley Bills Company, a hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or order customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more barkleybillsco.com hat. It is second half action here as the Chargers have the ball. Jump shot off on the fadeaway. No good for the Chargers. Denver Mitchell going to go on a backdoor cut. Cordell gives it to Barkley. Barkley had a good look at the basket. Couldn't get it to fall. Clayton Hunt is going to lose it out of bounds. Possession to the Chargers. 7:22 to go. Apparently only a fourth quarter running clock. I thought it would be the whole second half, but apparently it's only the fourth quarter. So we'll have a long third quarter here and then a running clock in the fourth quarter. Drake Mudd might have got away with the travel there. Bergman down low to Shoup. His shot's off, no good. Clayton Hunt with the rebound. 7 minutes remaining. Denver Mitchell with the basketball. Cordell gives it out to Clayton Hunt. Now to Barkley. Barkley loses it. He tried to give it away. And he's going to get called for the foul. Robertson will get 2 free throws. Barkley picks up his third. Team's first of the second half. It is the third quarter, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know why it hadn't updated there. Robertson shooting 2 free throws. First one is good. Second one off the front of the rim, no good. Clayton Hunt with the rebound. .6:31 remaining. Barkley, Cordell, Hunt, Barkley. And he saved it in to Drake Mudd. Mudd to Dietrich. Mitchell swiped it away, but he stepped out of bounds. 6:20 remaining. It's a 40-point game, 43-3. Running clock does not start apparently until the fourth quarter. Dietrich for 3, right corner. It's good. I got 18 points for Dietrich. Bergman with the steal. Dietrich behind the back. Bergman. Vale out on him. Mudd left side. Dietrich. Long jumper from the baseline is good. He has 5 in the quarter. 48-3. Vale with it. Cole Cordell, and Bergman's going to get called for the foul, I do believe. It's his third, team's first of the second half. 5 subs coming in, a line change for the Chargers. Wesley Robertson, number 5, Ethan Carlisle, number 10, Rowan Jackson, number 22, Trey Niederman. And see who the other one is. A 3 on the way by Mitchell off, no good. 12 Rankin, the other player to come in. I don't think I mentioned him. Niederman to Jackson, to Carlisle. Now back to Niederman. Rankin's going to drive, dump it out in the corner to Carlisle for three. It's short. Rebound to Rankin. Gets it out in the corner. Three on the way for Robertson is good. Wesley Robertson gets the tray. And Mitchell drives in and then throws it past Barkley out of bounds. Possession to Illini West. And a conversation amongst officials here. See what they have to say here after the conversation. .35 is Jarrett Schmidt. Jared Schmidt. Jarrett. They didn't have him in the book down there. That's what I was talking about earlier. Keith Yex is catching up with the scorebook over there. First free throw on the technical foul by Carlisle is good. Jarrett Schmidt they didn't have in the scorebook tonight. Second free throw by Carlisle is good as well. Carlisle, Niedermeyer, Rankin. 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Carlisle, Rankin. Gives it back to Jackson. Down low to Robertson from Jackson. Rowan Jackson gets the assist. .340 to go here. Three on the way. Off, no good. Robertson had to rebound, and Niederman will bring it back up for the Chargers. 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. Trouble for Brody Cordell there as he fell down. Jarrett Schmidt comes up with the ball, and Barkley brings it back up the other way with 3:13 remaining. Schmidt to Clayton Hunt to Brody Cordell. Brody Cordell is going to try and drive on Carlisle. Has it swiped away from behind by Niederman. Niederman goes across the lane to Rankin. Rankin can't get the finish. It's tipped around. Niederman comes up with it. 2:48 remaining. Carlisle to Rowan Jackson. Jackson, middle. Robertson, two, good. Robertson has 7 in the quarter. It's 57-3. 2:30 remaining. Game being brought to you as well as there's Mitchell for the first bucket of the game for the Cyclones. .215 of the quarter. Rankin's going to drive in, and he gets the bucket to fall. .30-second timeout, charged to West Prairie. We'll tell you this game being brought to you by MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera systems in the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability. And Country Financial agent Brett Powell, your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to help protect it. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. And Ryden Farm Supply, located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974. Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP, seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in the area, and as a customer, they will take care of you. Give them a call today. Rand Palmer puts up the shot. It's off, no good. Jarrett Schmidt with the rebound and the putback. Call Ryden Farm Supply today at 309-772-3121. A steal, Austin Nelson to Palmer. And Rankin's going to get called for the foul. Smidge of a love tap there. Foul's going to be on Rankin, his second, team second. His first, team second, excuse me. 1:35 remaining. Rand Palmer fouled by number 20, Steven Sparks, his first, team's third. .130 remaining. Palmer, a little push off on Rowan Jackson there. Denver Mitchell, three, top of the key. It's in and out, no good. Rowan Jackson had to go off of him, out of bounds. Palmer smacked it off of him. 1:17 remaining. Mitchell to Jarrett Schmidt. Schmidt to Austin Nelson. And they reset the offense. 1:10 remaining. Palmer tries to get it down to Nelson. Finally, he's going to get it tapped to him. Niederman is going to get called for the foul. No shot. Niederman picks up the foul. Team foul number 4. Mitchell inbounds to, attempted inbound to Nelson. It's knocked out of bounds by Niederman. 59.6 seconds remaining. Ryan Clark, left corner, excuse me. Palmer gets away with a bit of a travel there, I think, but he gets the basket to go. Kerfman, 34 seconds remaining. Niederman, pull-up jumper, good. Palmer, long two, left elbow area, off, no good. Rebound to Rowan Jackson. He gets it out to Kerfman. Kerfman goes across court, trying to get it to Sparks, overshoots him, out of bounds, 8.1 seconds remaining. Mitchell for three. It's off, no good. And that's how the quarter will end. 8 minutes left in this one. The Cyclones trail the Chargers 61-9. We'll take a break and be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Fourth quarter coming your way here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, 61-9. The score, it'll be a running clock in the fourth quarter. It'll be Cyclones basketball. Andrew Hunt will check in. Denver Mitchell on the dribble. Thought he was giving it to Palmer. Palmer gives and goes anyway, and Palmer's going to put up the shot at short. Andrew Hunt with a rebound and a putback. It's off, no good, and Sparks is going to be fouled by somebody. Nelson, his first, team's third. Niederman to Rowan Jackson. Rand Palmer is going to pick up another foul, his second. Team's fourth. Rankin for three. It's in and out, no good. I'm going to tell you right now, if Palmer was playing and I was officiating, he'd have been fouled out about 15 minutes ago. Rowan Jackson returned to favor with a hip check. He's been pushing off this whole second half. They haven't called him for it. They finally called him for one at the other end. 6:50 to go. Clock is running. Palmer will shoot 2 free throws. Jackson got the foul. His first, team's fifth. Palmer misses the first. Second free throw by Palmer is off the back of the rim, no good. Tipped around. Rankin comes down with it for Illini West, and Niederman's going to take it up the other way. 6:15 remaining. Down low to Sparks. Sparks going to put the shot up. Counted, and a foul for Steven Sparks. Denver Mitchell picks up the foul, his second, team's fifth. Sparks with the old-fashioned three-point play attempt here. He nails it. (64-9). Mitchell, three, left wing is good. .520 remaining. Kerfman tried to get to Sparks. It's tipped by Mitchell. Andrew Clayton came up with it, or Andrew Hunt, excuse me. Rankin to Niederman, and we're approaching the 5-minute mark here in quarter number 4. Kerfman on the dribble, gives it to Niederman. He'll try the three, top of the key, off, no good. Rebound to Ryan Clark. Palmer with it. Now it goes Mitchell to Andrew Hunt. Steven Sparks just runs over Andrew Hunt. Sparks is going to pick up the second foul. Team's fifth. Team's sixth, excuse me. Andrew Mitchell. Three on the way by Mitchell. Good. (64-15). 3:52 remaining. Out top, Niederman. Rankin's going to try the three. The lefty, a little long. Ryan Clark with the rebound. Mitchell kind of getting the feel a little bit. He's going to get 2 free throws. Jackson's going to get the foul. His second. Team sixth. Denver Mitchell. Couple free throws coming here. He hits the first. Second one, good. Brody Cordell comes in. Denver Mitchell takes a seat. He's got 8 points here in the fourth quarter. 2:45 remaining. Wesley Robertson back in. Rankin's going to drive on Clark. Tips it out to Niederman. 3 off, no good. Sparks had to tip at the rebound. He's going to save it in. And he sent it to, he threw it to somebody from Illini West. The problem was she was a cheerleader. Well, I mean, Keith, the cheerleaders are not generally prepared to catch the ball. That's why they're cheerleaders, not basketball players. Keith is on CAZ right now, and we're doing this broadcast, and Keith and I are having a conversation. That tells you what kind of game it's been going here. Carlisle races down the floor to keep it from being over and back. Sparks skips it out to Robertson. Robertson now is going to go. The left-handed is no good. Sparks with the jump ball, and it's going to be possession to Illini West. 1:45 clock running here in the fourth quarter. 64-17. Carlisle back to Niederman. 3 on the way. Off, no good. Andrew Hunt the rebound. Jarrett Schmidt gives it to Brody Cordell. Ben Wren gets the bucket. Robertson, as they approach the 1 minute mark, he puts the runner up, off no good. Brody Cordell with the rebound. Ryan Clark, the layup is good. May not think this matters here, folks, but for a West Prairie team that had been struggling to score, even if it's against the second string, getting some points on the board and showing some life is a good thing as we approach the 35-second mark. Rankin with it now. These freshmen, I think some of which are playing now. Ryan Clark is a freshman. Brody Cordell is a freshman. These guys are used to winning basketball games. They're not used to getting beat. They're not going to come out here and play like they're giving up. They're going to come out and play hard, and that's what you kind of see here is that was a nice layup by Ryan Clark. As I said, they're used to winning. They've won a lot at the junior high level. Granted, it was with the help of some 7th graders because they're short on numbers. But they do like to win, and they're used to it. So that's how the game's going to end, though. 64-21. The Chargers beat the Cyclones. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some stats in just a few minutes here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
At Country Financial, we enjoy serving the community in which we live, big or small.
I love living in the Blandonsville area. It's where I grew up, went to school, and decided to raise my family. I never had a desire to live or work anywhere other than in a small town. I feel lucky to help my longtime friends and neighbors with their insurance needs. It's like working with family every day.
I'm Brett Powell, your local Country Financial representative, whose door is always open to work with you.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back. Here's we'll look through some stats for the Illini West Chargers. A game high 20 points for Nolan Dietrich. 9 points for Gannon Bergman. 8 points for Drake Mudd, all in the first quarter. 7 points for Wesley Robertson. 2 for Kerfman, 3 for Colby Robertson, 4 for Carlisle, 2 for Rankin, 3 for Steven Sparks, 2 for Reese Shoup, 4 for Niederman. They were 5 of 8 from the free throw line. For the West Prairie Cyclones, who had only 3 points at the half, they finished with 21. 10 points for a team high for Denver Mitchell. 8 of those came in the fourth quarter. 2 for Ryan Clark, 2 for Rand Palmer, 2 for Ben Wren, 2 for Adam Vale, 1 for Andrew Hunt, and 2 for Jarrett Schmidt. That'll do it for our game broadcasts here tonight from Bushnell-Prairie City's Spartan Tip-Off Classic. We'll be back tomorrow night. It will be Macomb and Illini Bluffs tomorrow night and BPC and West Hancock tomorrow night. So we'll have those 2 contests. Thanks for joining us tonight here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll see you tomorrow night.